Everyone, David here. I'm going to be making a thorough video of building a homemade Goped because I've been looking for many videos on how to do this and I haven't found one video. I haven't found one video yet that's shown me really the right way and the best way to do things. So, the first thing you're going to need is a razor scooter, any size would work, and you're going to need to find a weed whacker engine, preferably Home Light. It's the best weed whackers for this project. Alright, so basically, when you first get your your scooter, it will come normal and everything. Down here is where it used to be an electric scooter. So right here, where that thing's screwed in at, in this little fork, used to be a where the electric motor was mounted. All under here was where the battery was. So what you have to do is you have to take this whole plate off. It's like the plate right here, this plate right here, where you stand on, and everything should pop out once you get that plate off. So take that whole thing out so you have extra mounts for your engine. What you should do is either cut your board down in half so you have room for your engine to mount, and there is still room to stand on. That's what I did. Leave a little space though for your gas tank to breathe and stuff. What you want to do is, holding the battery and this whole box that used to be under here is a metal bar about a foot long. It's a thin piece of sheet metal. It's red. It looks exactly like this right there. That's screwed in, that looks like it's screwed to the gas tank. You take that off and cut it in half. Now there's two ends, and they both have those circles on it. So I took advantage of that. When you take apart your weed whacker, I just took off the pull start, and I had like 6 leftover holes for mounting things. For mounting things. So what I did was, I utilized the bottom hole of the weed whacker, and where the engine, where the electric motor used to be mounted, and I used that metal bar that was under here. Cut it in half, screwed one end into the motor, and one end into the thing. Put a nut on. You can't really see it. A nut on the back side of that to hold in the screw. And what I'm gonna do here is, as I can show you right here up in this metal thing, I have a metal L bracket. I'm going to bend it and make it straight. This is what it looks like. Just buy a L bracket from like Home Depot, piece of metal like that looks like that. I'm going to straighten it out and run it from this bottom one right here all the way over here. Put a hole in beside the wheel. All the way right here above the wheel. And once you have the engine mounted, that's the easy part. Then everything's cake from there. You're gonna need the spring, not the spring that it comes with, or you can use that one, but your chain might be too short, so you might want to buy another one. But the chain is like the last thing you really want to worry about. What's next? The big thing you want to worry about is how the actual thing's gonna move. I prefer chain driven. A lot of people just use a bike peg and put it right on the tire, but I think that's like stupid. It really doesn't work. I've tried it before. It's not the best idea, but it's everyone's opinion, I guess. But yeah, right here, since I have the sprocket on, you can see it's on the magneto right here. I didn't weld it yet, but what you want to do is it comes with a spindle here. It already has a spindle mounted on from the weed whacker where the shaft would be. Put this sprocket on. Either you can use the one that came with the scooter for the electric motor, pop it right off the motor, or you can just buy one online. Just search Goped sprocket. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to weld it right to the end here. Right here. So, I'm going to run my chain from here to the wheel. So, I already have the engine mounted. As you can see. I just got to do the other mount. Sorry for that light. I have to do the other mount for it. But, yep, everything's pretty much mounted. The next thing, after everything is mounted on and welded, like the sprocket, what you want to do is right here on your carburetor, you'll have a throttle. That's where your throttle is, right next to the primer. You want to run a throttle cable. You want to cut all the electric cables off that used to be up here for the electric throttle. I have one cable running. That's only the brake cable. That's all I need. You want to cut every other cable except the brake cable, and buy another one of these online. One of these little lever brake handles or whatever. You want to buy another one of these things, and once you buy another one, you put it on the other side of your handlebars and make it a gas pedal basically, or a throttle. Run the cable all the way down here under the scooter, all the way over to, right here, right where my finger's at. But everything is mounted, which I'm happy about. This has been a few months of thinking about how to do this. It's a tight space, but once you get the pieces and the parts, it's pretty easy to work out. But this, I'm going to paint this whole bottom white probably, and keep that red, or maybe even put it blue. But this is a weed whacker engine. That's it. I have a few other. This is a box of parts, a few batteries and stuff. Leaf blower engine. Might use another weed whacker right there. That is my mini bike engine I have over there and shit. But yeah, that motor, this motor right here, which I was thinking about using for the scooter, except all the shrouding around won't come off. So yeah, and I have an extra gas tank, 2 extra batteries, carburetor parts, the chain in there, 2 chains. 2 chains, get it. Alright, so yeah. That's about everything you need to know. But you might have to take the rear wheel off to put the chain on, unless you can make the chain break without actually breaking it. Like, just break the chain in half so you can put it on. Yeah. What I'm doing is I'm gonna weld a custom exhaust pipe onto this to make it, sound louder and everything. But yeah. So yeah, it's my homemade Goped. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or you can just message me or inbox on YouTube. Once again, recap: engine's mounted. You need a throttle cable, everything you need to buy. The weed whacker engine and the throttle cable and maybe the sprocket. After you have all that, you're set. Just get the weed whacker engine and the scooter, and then it's as long as you have tools, saws, hammer, screwdriver, screws, nuts, everything extra like that, bolts, you should be good. But that's everything you really need to know to build this thing. As you can see, I have one bracket mounted here. So I have to do the other bracket tonight. So I'm either gonna do one day there. I'll show you better. One to here to there, here to there, and after that's screwed in, I'm gonna run and after that's screwed in, these two, I'm gonna run this L bracket after it's straight, here to there, and then I'm going to get another straight one and mount it right into here. And then I'm probably going to utilize this top one over here. I didn't utilize that one yet. I got to figure out how to mount it. Maybe I'll just get another one of these, straighten it out, and mount it to the frame. I got to figure out what I want to do. But the only hard part of this is just welding it. Mounting it's very simple. Starting it is another thing I want to go over real quick. The way to start it is not normal. You can't just, or it's called pop or bumper start, whatever it's called, pop start, bump start, push start, whatever you want to do it. I got rid of my pull string. My pull string is over there in the back, the red thing. The way I'm going to start it is when I have the chain hooked up and all tight, I'm just going to ride it down the street so it kicks over a few times and then it'll start right up. And yep, that's about it. But this is my engine. It's a 49cc weed whacker. It's a very powerful engine. And I did a few things to it. I put a new carburetor on it. Put a new air filter in it. The magneto needed some work. I'm doing a new exhaust tank to it, or exhaust pipe. Sorry, put a new pipe on it, muffler and everything. The gas tank does work. It's on there pretty good. I'll show you the back side of that. That's the back side. But the gas tank does work. If you want one better, you get one like this, mount it to the side of the engine, or not the engine, the frame here. You might get more gas out of it. Oh, and real quick, that is the sprocket on the motor that comes with it. So there's one bolt on the end. You might have to hit it off with that bolt or something. It's hard to get off. Just take your time with it. I know a lot of this building stuff can be very frustrating, but look how easy that was. This took me 1 day to get done, just to mount this. Cut that in half, put the engine on, cut the bar in half, that little piece of metal, and mount it. Piece of cake, honestly. Next step for me, I gotta weld that sprocket on. And then my chain goes on, that's it. And then I just gotta run my throttle cable, but that's the last thing. And that tire is kind of flat, so I'm probably gonna fill that up with air soon, but yeah. So, this was the proper way to build a Goped. See you guys.